Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to Madam Jogeswari. My name is Muzammil Ahmed Ahmad. I will start with the introduction first. So for this assignment 2, we have to choose one research questions, and we have to choose research question number 4, which is trade unions. So what is trade union? Trade union is a group of workmen or association who work permanently or in contract in industry. And there are 3 types of act that protect trade unions. The first one is the Employment Act. The second one is the Trade Union Act, and the last one is the Employment Relations. And there are 3 types of trade union. The first one is the private sector trade unions. Second is public sector trade union, and the last one is employer trade unions. Moving on to the next slide.
So, hi, I'm Deepa Sri Sunesen here. So, I'm going to present for the question 1. The question 1 is about why are so many employees anti-trade unions? So, the reason is due to their impact on the company's autonomy and fears of economic losses as workers. And the second one is about traders only. Credit union only consider the needs of its member. They often ignore the plight of those excluded from the labor market, for example, unemployed, and also if union go on strike and work unproductivity, work to rule, it can lead to loss, sale, and output. Therefore, their company may go out of a business and be able to employ workers at all. In many industries, trade unions have to create a situation of a comfortability approach and also a monopoly employer. They can help counterbalance the employer market power. If union become too powerful and they force wages to be high, then they may cause an unemployment, inflation. It also depends very much of the nature of the relationship between trade union and employers. So moving on to question 2.
Moving on to the questions 2, which is what is the action that can be taken by the employers to discourage their employees from joining the trade unions? So the first one is fair and consistent policies. If the employer can practice a fair and consistent policies at workplace, it will make the employees feel satisfaction because there is no bias between the top level management and the lower level management, and also there is no bias between the workers. The second one is open door management policies. By practicing open door management policies, it will discourage employee to join the trade union because the employee feeling satisfied with the employers who taking care of their right. Because one of the reason why employee join trade union is because they want to fight for their right. And the last one is competitive pay and benefits. If the employer can give a competitive pay and benefit, it also will discourage the employee from joining the trade unions because one of the reason the employee joining the trade unions also because they want to fight for their pay and benefits such as salary increments and statutory benefits. Moving on to the next question.
Okay, for question 3, my name is Rajvin and I'll be presenting on question 3, which is what are the consequences of strong and weak union? Let's see what are the consequences of strong union. First, union aid employees in obtaining greater benefit, which actually employees who are ununionized and employed have a great significantly better chance of obtaining necessary benefits from their company. Ununionized workers typically pay a smaller percentage of benefits they receive, accrue more vacation time, and have easier access to 6 days. Second would be workers are protected by labor union. A SAC of employee would at most be eligible for unemployment compensation. There must be proof of misconduct before a unionized employee can be discharged. and any disciplinary action must often go via arbitration or grievance procedure. Third would be union for workers advocate for higher pay. The trade union also ensures that each employee in a company receives a fair salary while also protect their workers' economic interests. The trade union can develop and enhance the financial situation of a worker within a company while negotiating for greater salaries. As a result, it can shield workers from being subjected to unfair wage practices under monopolies. Last, for the strong union constitution would be union enhances productivity. A trade union can assist in communicating to implement new working methods that serve to increase workplace productivity. A union can prevent discrimination at work as they support maternity rights, flexible scheduling, and paternity pay for their staff members or in the organization. Trade union can also aid in improving relations between employer and employees. Moving on to the weak union. Next slide. Next. Next. Okay. In consequences of weak union, the first one would be union in the workplace discourages uniqueness. The tendency for group mentality to develop when working in groups also tend to stifle individual creativity. And when they disagree with the union choices, employees are frequently obligated to follow them as all the majority vote for a decision to be made unless you choose to quit. So there is no option unless you follow the majority vote. Promotion and layoff are more difficult when there are union present. The seniority of the worker is a major priority for unions. This frequently results into lack of opportunity and promotion for fresh and talented staff. So all the job opportunities will be given to the senior as they prioritize the senior more than the fresh talent. Next slide would be the third one, which is cost may increase as a result of union. Recruiting ununionized employees might be more expensive than hiring non-ununionized employees. Include additional precaution, rules, and regulations that should be disputed, arbitrated, or subject to grievance procedure. And the last one under weak would be certain employees are unwilling to pay the dues and fees that union demand. Some job applicants apply and non-unionized applicant, but if the applicant is hired, the non-member must join the union. And some organization permits non-members to work, but they must pay agency fees which go towards the job union does. So this will be my part. Moving on to the next question.
Okay, good afternoon. Student. Okay. My slide. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Shalini Mahindra, and I will be presenting question 4. Are trade unions outmoded in the 21st century? Justify your answer. Yes, trade unions are outmoded in the 21st century. The unionism in Malaysia is declining due to the adverse attitude shown by most employers, despite the existence of law that protects workers' rights to unionize. This has resulted in less interest exhibited by new employees, especially the Generation Y, to join the union. According to CAMU, the marginalism and declining rate of trade union density in Malaysia is due to the restrictions and interference in the IRA, which allow employers and authorities to decide whether a union shall be given due recognition. Such powers given to employers and the government violate C87. Moreover, it also because of the disadvantages of trade unions. Employees who join labor parties must pay regular fees to maintain their membership. Union members also agree to abide by any conditions that are negotiated between the union and businesses. Individual recognition negotiations are generally not accepted. Unions often seem irrelevant. In good times, workers don't need unions to secure increases in wages and benefits because everybody profits from economic prosperity. But in bad times, unions can't protect their members from layoffs, wage and benefit reductions, and tougher working conditions. Unions have a proper public image as being bloated, inefficient, and often downright corrupt. Workers are often out of sync with union politics. The labor movement is perceived as being a vessel to the Democratic Party and a champion of liberal causes. Most employees now turn to government, not unions, for basic protection. Workers rely on the government for pensions, healthcare protection against discrimination, and a whole variety of other benefits that were formerly provided exclusively by unions. Okay, that's all from me, and next will be question 5. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Zuraihan binti Sanuddin. Okay, today I'm going to present for the question number 5. Okay, find one case which the process goes through the trade union. Okay. Okay, Federal Court on January 20, this case is based on Ismail Nasaruddin bin Abdul Wahab with Malaysian Airlines System Berhad. The short name is MAS. Okay, the Federal Court on January 20 upheld a High Court decision which ruled that the National Union of Flight Attendant Malaysia, which is NUFAM member, trade union member, the president Ismail Nasaruddin Abdul Wahab was dismissed unlawfully by Malaysia Airlines System Berhad in 2013 over his comment made about the airline. Okay, the court, the 3-member, which is held by the judge, the justice, which is Datuk Nalini Padmanathan, also affirmed the compensation, which is 211 ringgit, 444 ringgit compensation awarded by the industrial court to Ismail Nasaruddin. Okay, in allowing Ismail Nasaruddin appeal to set aside the decision of a court, the rule that must met, Justice Nalini said the statement made by Ismail Nasaruddin were not malicious nor recklessly false or extraneous. That means there is no bad thing that Ismail did for the company. He tell the everything is right on behalf of the trade union member. So, and then in 2013, okay, Ismail Nasaruddin gave interview with a local daily to highlight the concern of worker in relation to claim or the claim of overwork, unpayment of salary, health and safety issue due to mass fee realignment. Okay, the court accept that the contents of the press statement by Ismail Nasaruddin were related to the problem faced by employee at the workplace and criticism of the management failure to the address of the problem. Okay, and last is, okay, what every problem that employee, the trade union member facing, he appeal in the court. Okay, and then the last one is the court appeal it because of it's only starting they focus on Ismail Nasaruddin obligation of according to the employment contract or collective agreement without considering his responsibility as president of NUFAM. Actually, they thought that Ismail Nasaruddin, for his employment contract, he appeared about this case, but actually it's about trade union member and UFAM for all the trade union member. Okay, this is for the case. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. Okay, next slide. I will share. Okay.
Okay, for the conclusion, in conclusion, we can see that trade unions hold both advantages and disadvantages, which cause it to be outmoded in the 21st century. Moreover, cases related to trade union have been occurred as well in these past years. Employers usually do not prefer unions because it could increase the cost and have to provide more benefits, while some employees do prefer unions for higher pay and more benefits. Although some employees do prefer unions, but it is only a small number of them. Many just prefer turning to the government and law for protection instead of a union. Even in the same organization with a trade union, there are also anti-trade unions as well. Okay, so thank you. That's all from me.